Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Wildwood 27RKS. Folks, this is the new fall edition. It has all the changes for the 2020 model year, and I think they did a lot of cool things. First off is the aesthetic piece. You'll see the new flooring. It has a herringbone pattern. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The upgraded countertops here, it's kind of has like a texture to it, which I like, so that way, you know, stuff isn't just sliding all over the place if you're not quite totally level. Also, it is a seamless countertop, which allows you to undermount the bowl, as you can see here in this rear kitchen model. And you have shiplap. We have a new cool little design over here with the sofa. I'll show you that in just a minute. The floor plan itself, as I mentioned, is a rear kitchen. You'll see that you have your two chairs right here. Super comfortable, folks, and you can see how much I actually sink down in here when I sit, which is great because then the armrests are at a great height, and you can turn these. So if I wanted, to be able to have a good shot to the TV, I can do that. If I want to sit here and read a book with my wife, I can do that as well, or talk to someone on the sofa. And they do recline. I have to pull it out a little bit here, but they do recline as well. So that way, if you want to, lean back and kind of take a load off, take a mid-afternoon nap, it will allow you to do that. Plus, you have a table right there in the center for, a good reading book or beverage, something like that. And you can see the huge window right there, just letting in a ton of natural light. You also have the blackout roller shades. You can see that in the slide out. So that way, it does keep all that light out if you want to keep it a little bit darker in here, watch a movie or something. And the roller shades are quite easy to use. In the very back, as I mentioned, is that beautiful new countertop. Tons of prep space right up top here. Two double electrical outlets rather. So you have 4 total outlets there. So if you need to plug anything in, whether it's a coffee maker, blender, toaster, whatever it may be, you have the electrical outlets to do it. Plus you have 2 more right over to the side. Right as where you would expect it to be is your sink. So perfect for washing, rinsing dishes here. You have prep on both sides. High-rise faucet, they changed the color this year. It's a little bit darker, which I kind of like. You have the light countertop, so in contrast, you have the darker sprayer there. You'll also notice, and they've had this before, but you have the roll-up drying rack, which is quite nice, provides some extra prep space there too. Up top, you'll notice the glass has a new design. It's pretty cool looking, almost like a honeycomb pattern. Again, the darker pulls to match the faucet. We open that up, you can see some of the storage inside. More storage along the back here. Microwave slimline gray stone hood along with the gray stone cooktop. You'll see the upgraded burner on there. It is recessed with the glass cover so you can utilize it as prep space. And of course you have the oven underneath if you want to do some baking. You'll also see the storage underneath the sink. Notice how there is plenty of room there for a trash can. And you have a couple of drawers right over here to the side, so you have a spot for all of your flatware. In the very back is your Everchill 12-volt compressor-driven refrigerator. Open that up for you if you need to keep some documents nice and frozen. There's a spot for you. But in all reality, it is a wonderful fridge-freezer combo because it is the 12-volt, so it runs off your batteries. You don't have to have like a generator or anything running like you do with the true residential ones. So I enjoy that. And the lock is very easy to use. Your travel lock is right there. That way things aren't flying out as you're traveling. Open it up, you're good to go. Over to the side, pantry space. Gotta have pantry in a rear kitchen. One of the great things about having the rear kitchen is the countertop space and the kitchen storage space, and that definitely helps provide in the latter. Then we get to the slide out. So we talked about the windows and how big they are. I did not mention that. You'll notice in lieu of storage across the top, they went with huge oversized windows to let a ton of natural light in here. Windows on both sides of the slide, which is a pretty big deal. Then we get into the dinette. So the dinette, it's a little bit different. So you'll see right here, and in fact here they call it the Versa Lounge. And you'll see why in just a second. So as I have it currently set up, I have a dinette where 4 people can sit here and have a meal together, play a game together. But if it's just the 2 of you, you're done having a meal, and maybe you want to watch TV or you want to relax a little bit more, you can do this right here. You take this side, it actually lifts right up and out. You'll see you have the little legs there, and it creates a Chaise Lounge. So you can flip it around just like this. You'll see you have some guides right there. And there you go. Drop it right into place. Now you have this Chaise Lounge where you can sit back and relax. Extend your legs out, be able to watch the TV here. You also have storage underneath this entire thing. So you'll see storage there. Comes with the bins. I know, they're super expensive. I get people that yell at me all the time and oh, I get a free bin. I get it. But you know what? It's great because it's already sized. A lot of times otherwise, you have to go out, you have to go shopping and try to find something. This makes life a lot easier. And then underneath, the same thing. You know, if you had to find 3 bins, and you still can if you don't like the way they look, if you want like wicker baskets or something, by all means, you can go out and get them yourself. But the fact it comes with ones that you know fit, I think is pretty great. For the TV itself, you will see these shiplap walls. So it's a nice decorative wall. This is where your TV will go. The ceiling, if you take a look at the ceiling panels, those are updated as well. Rather than just being a plain white, it kind of has a little bit of brown streaks in there. It helps blend everything together. It kind of has like the lighter walls with, you know, the brown wood, still makes it work and, you know, not seem too dark and dreary like we've seen in a lot of travel trailers in the past years. You'll notice the Multimedia Center here. This is a speaker bar or a sound bar. It has 2 zones, controls the speakers in here and outside. HDMI inlet, USB port inlet there as well. And then underneath that is your fireplace, which is great because not only does this look fantastic, but it is also essentially an electric space heater. When we step into the bathroom, one of the things you'll see right away is the toilet. And personally, I wish they would have angled the toilet right here because this would have worked for me. You know, you could have shut the door, you would have had plenty of space, but they did angle it a little bit to the side. And so because of that, you know, my left leg kind of has to sit back a little bit. Makes it a little more uncomfortable, but I do have plenty of shoulder space, which is nice. Right to the side of that is your shower. I'll take a step in here. I'm 6 foot tall, folks, and as you'll notice, I have a ton of room. Even without the skylight, there's still no issues with that skylight. You can probably be 6'3" and still stand in here upright without having to hunch down when you shower. You also have the nicer wall surround on there, which I like. And then over to the side here behind the door, you have a mirrored medicine cabinet, again, a decorative wall. You have the sink right down below. You can kind of see that sink top and vanity, a little bit of storage under there and spot for a trash can. Plus you have the linen closet right over here to the side. Up in the master bedroom, you'll see the queen bed in the center. Now on both sides, you have wardrobe space. Something that's kind of neat though is if you notice you have cubby holes. The purpose for this, folks, is so you can put a CPAP machine in there. So that way you have a spot for your CPAP. You can just bring the cords and the hose and everything right through. And you know, before they didn't really have a good spot for it, so they have remedied that. Now you will notice up above that, there's also a hanging rod. So you have a spot to hang your clothes. That is all one large storage area. And across the top, instead of just a shelf, they have enclosed this as well. So, you know, any items you want to put up here, some personal items, underwear, things like that, you can put them up there, and that way they're not just hanging out. And again, that same decorative glass. The other thing I love about this bedroom is if you take a look at this wall, look at that. You have a shelf up top plus another large wardrobe for tons of hanging space. And if you want to watch TV, there is a backer mounted right here in the wall, and the connections, of course, for that are on the ceiling. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the fall version 2020 Wildwood 27RKS. Right up front is your power tongue jack. Makes it a lot easier to connect and disconnect from your tow vehicle. You also see a light up front for added visibility at night, plus a manual override in the rare event that the motor does fail. Right behind that are 2 20-pound propane tanks with the cover. You have rails here for your battery. Notice you do have the divider, so if you want 2 batteries here, there's plenty of room for it. And right over to the side, you'll also notice a battery disconnect, which is great, because that way when you're done using it, you can just flip that disconnect and kill all power. You'll see the diamond plating coming up the front, helping to protect that front end from rocks and debris that get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And above that is a smooth aluminum front, which not only looks nicer, but also is easier to clean. And seeing as how that's where most of your bugs will be smashed at, that's definitely a good thing to have. Taking a look at the pass-through, this is one of the things I love about this trailer, folks. Look how much space you have in here. Now this does share access to the inside. The bed lifts up. You can see the struts right here. So you can access this from the inside or from right out here. Of course, you have the door on the off door side as well. And in front of the bed, I didn't show it when we were inside, but there are a couple bins in there for additional storage. So lots of storage space in that bedroom. They definitely maximized it. You'll also see solar prep. So if you want solar, just buy the portable panels, plug it in right there, and it'll trickle charge your battery. Power stabilizer jacks on this unit. Now bear in mind, this is not auto level. You still want to use blocks to level it out, but once it is leveled out, you can just touch the button here to drop down those stabilizer jacks so the trailer isn't rocking around as you're moving around inside. Power awning, touch a button, roll that out. Same thing to go right back in. You will notice the LED light strip on there too, so that way you have light at night. Dropping down below that, you have a couple outside speakers. Those are controlled by that Multimedia Center inside, but that unit is Bluetooth capable, that sound bar I showed you. And you also have an electrical outlet here in case you need to plug anything in. You have the LCI solid step system, which is exactly that. Nice solid step. You can see, I'm over 200 pounds as I walk up and down here. The steps don't flex. Aluminum tread, so it won't rust. Has the grip tape on there for added traction. When you combine that with the larger foldable grab handle right here, it gives you excellent control when going in the 27RKS. Now, one of the biggest changes here is actually underneath the camper. This is something new, as I mentioned, on the fall version 2020 of the Wildwood. If you drop down with me a second here, you can take a look. So they actually have changed the enclosed underbelly, or it is enclosed now. The thing I love about this is it is an actual hard enclosed underbelly. This is awesome for a couple of reasons. One, it does provide better insulation. And two, each one of these are individual panels. That's a huge deal when it comes to any kind of servicing. Normally, your underbelly will have to be cut, it'll have to be opened up and either completely replaced or patched back together. Here, if anyone needs to work on it, or if you need to work on it yourself, you can drop a panel, do what you need to do, put the panel right back up, it just screws right back in. It makes things super easy, and that is also heated down there. So just like your normal underbelly, fully enclosed, that is insulated, it is heated to help keep things a little bit warmer in the colder seasons. So I love that change. You also notice right back here, your square tubular bumper with end caps gives you a spot in which you can store your sewer hose. You have the spare tire mounted back there with the cover, make sure it stays in good shape, and it's very easy to access. Backup camera prep right up top in the center, so if you want a backup camera, having the prep makes it easier to install, meaning it'll save you money on labor. 30 amp power cord right there, just pull it out, plug it in, you're good to go. And then you have your cable and satellite inlet right next door. If you drop down underneath, you will see your termination. The thing I like about this, folks, is even though there's a gray tank in the back, they have run the plumbing all the way up to this one termination. So that way you don't have to get a Y or, or drop one tank and then move and drop another. All of them end right here. So you'll see two gray tank valves plus your black tank valve all at that singular termination. Also moving up a little bit further, you will see your city water inlets. Right in front of that is your black tank flush. So that way, if you're done camping, you need to wash out your black tank, just hook up your water hose right there. That black tank has sprayers built in and it will wash it out for you. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the fall version of the 2020 Wildwood 27RKS. If you're interested in this model and you'd like price and availability so you can kick back and relax like I am, then just click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.